It should pop up in like 10 seconds. All right, we should be good.
You got it in the you got First Corinthians 10 in the NLT or the GNT.
GNT.
Got you, got you. All
You
right.
you want it in the NLT too?
Nah, not really. We can leave it in GNT.
Okay, come. Come. Yeah, we live.
All right. You can hold on. Let me see. Hold on. All right. Go ahead and start. So, all right. We're the Hebrew Israelites. This is GMS Virginia. This is I got the brother Zariala from GMS Norfolk. This is Shakwakara from GMS Richmond. Linking up to the spirit. First and foremost, we want to give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim Kapadash. We want to give double honor to the apostles of our apostles of GMS, our elders, our beloved teachers, and peace, blessing, salutation to the Hebrew Israelites, the hopeful elect, and those that are waiting for the return of our Lord Yahushua, which is the so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, in all sincerity and not move any movable faith, not getting caught up with the world and being entangled by it. So we're going to go in with First Corinthians, the 10th chapter, which talks about how the Israelites moved while they were with Moses. Remember, again, we're in spiritual Egypt all over again, underneath philosophies, idols. How you say a lot of wickedness and perversion as it was in ancient Egypt. So you can go ahead and start, Zariala.
This is First Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 1 in the GNT, and it also says warnings against idols.
Yeah, because one thing about it, our people don't realize majority of the way how they move. We were talking about this yesterday at camp. Really, all Jake knows here in the society is what you learn and seen on TV. Pretty much hand-me-downs. And all majority of the hand-me-downs that we've learned in the society has come from ancient Roman Empire, ancient Egypt, the Egyptian, Babylonian, Assyrian Empire, the captivities. Because we all know the one that's in charge right now, the so-called white man, he's a thief, and he's not. He did not come out as an Edomite. He came out as white, and he came as stealing everybody else's philosophies and gods and idols and ways, and he has perversed and put his twist on it, and has implemented on the world and especially on our people to pretty much keep us spiritually fornicating and acting. Once you're messed up physically, I mean mentally, you're actually gonna go behind it. So you got it.
If I could add, basically what this damn devil whole agenda is to keep the nation of Israel spiritually declined.
That's right.
So that's why he has all these different, the scriptures go into the wiles of the devil, the trickery, the deceit, to keep us, disconnected from Yahweh Shem Yahushua through the Spirit.
That's right.
It says, I want you to remember, my friends, what happened.
Remember. You got to remember. Go ahead.
It says, I want you to remember, my friends, what happened to our ancestors, our forefathers, who followed Moses.
So you got to remember, as a people, a nation of people, we are the Hebrew Israelites. One thing Esau really tried to eradicate as well is nationalities, because pretty much one of the things that Esau did, the so-called white man did, was he pretty much tried to reclassify nations, by Negroid, Caucasoid, and Mongoloid. And you can look at, you had the who was it? Blumenbach, Chamberlain, and I forgot the other. It was three of them, three Edomites that came in that pretty much wanted to reclassify nationalities. And what happened was, they pretty much try to eradicate nationality so they can pretty much usher in themselves to being the true people of the Bible, and confuse the other nations and pretty much try to rule with in secrecy, in all, but trying to rule in power. You got it.
It also says they were all under the protection of the cloud, which is speaking about a chariot.
Yep.
And it says, and all passed safely through the Red Sea.
Because we all left as a nation during that time in ancient Egypt. As a whole nation, we left Egypt. All of us, our children, and the men, and even with spoils and goods. Go ahead.
It says, all Salakia. It says, in the cloud and in the sea, they were all baptized as followers of Moses.
That's right. Go ahead.
It says, all ate the same spiritual bread and drank
Mm-hmm.
the same spiritual drink. They drank from the spiritual rock that went with them, and that rock was Hamashiach himself.
That's right. So
It says,
Yahweh Shah was always here
come.
because I think somewhere I forgot in the New Testament talks about that whole way of being. It breaks that down. Go ahead. I think it's in the book of Hebrews. Go ahead.
Come. It says, but even then, the Most High was not pleased with most of them, so their dead bodies were scattered over the desert, which was the wilderness.
So when you know the history of it, it basically what Yahweh did was through Israel's disbelief, he pretty much weeded that whole generation out. Then he allowed certain things to happen to them, and that's one of the reasons why in this day of time we can't be like our ancestors, which really didn't believe. And it's crazy in itself because our ancestors really saw the power of Yahweh, and they still wanted to go back to Egypt. Not it's crazy to me. You had a power, a God that showed his hand against the people that oppressed you, and you wanted to go right back underneath the people that your power vanished and pretty much messed up, fucked up as a nation, their infrastructure, and you wanted to go right back to it. That just showed you how people are kind of fucking messed up. And that's not the how you say that's not the what's the word for it? That's not how you want to be in this day of time. You want to be wholeheartedly believe. You want to wholeheartedly believe in our power. Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shah. You got it.
I got a quick precept, if I may.
You got it.
This is Amos chapter 9. I'll start at verse 8. It says, behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are upon the sinful kingdom,
Yep.
and I will destroy it off of the face of the earth.
That's right.
Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. You know,
That's
and,
right.
and since you brought out, basically the whole example of Egypt, that was a sinful kingdom. All the different deities that they were, idolizing and so on and so forth. Jake got comfortable being in captivity, right? And then they were basically coming up against Moses, like, how are we going to, get out of this? How are you going to save us? Who is this God that you speak of, and so on and so forth? And, through, the grace and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the Lord sent Moses to help them, come out of Egypt. And then that's when you had, those wicked Israelites, that still didn't believe after seeing the sea, being split, seeing all the miracles, the plagues, and so on and so forth, right?
They were backbiters. They were talking shit and they were murmuring. They were pretty much trying, and basically they were so comfortable when they wasn't in that present state of being underneath captivity and working. They didn't know, pretty much they didn't know what to do besides what the Egyptian wanted them to do. Same thing today. People don't know nothing else but except for what the so-called white man wants them to do. And if you take them out that comfortability or that comfort zone, or take them out of that status that they're in, Jake don't know how to act, because our people, to 2/3, they don't believe in Yahweh Shah.
And that's the spirit, because it brings me to this next precept. I'm gonna read 9 and 10, but it says, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as a corn is sifted in the sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. And pretty much when you go into a sifting process, I know because I went I had the opportunity to go to Arizona, and basically they had a whole bunch of dirt, mud, like in the mines, and you had precious stones that were dirty and made look like a hard rock. But as you're sifting it and you moving it back and forth, and the water is basically sprinkled upon that, that dirt is
Mm-hmm.
basically washing off the impurities. So you're essentially taking those good stones that's deep in that and rooted into that ground, and you sifting out, and then you leaving all the bad rocks and the stones that are not worthy, and you're leaving them there. But the good precious stone, like the onyx stones, the amethyst, and so on and so forth, those are the ones that you're pulling out. So
Yep.
that's essentially what the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai is doing now, man.
That's
These
right.
unbelievers, these ones that don't, hearken unto the words of Yahweh Shem, the Lord is going to sift them, man.
And it makes it shine more. It
Come.
makes it shine more. And what Yahweh Bashim Yahshua also does is give us examples, even in this present day. Just like it's when you first open it up, First Corinthians, the 10th chapter tells you, remember the past. Remember
Mm-hmm.
how they were forsaken, they got destroyed, and they got punished. And remember, look at the ones that wholeheartedly believe, because we're reading about their greatness even to this day. So it is a benefit of believing wholeheartedly believing in Yahweh Bashar Yahweh Shah, because again, remember, you have a lot of niggas that don't believe in the Bible, just like you had that bugged out nigga yesterday. um, Niggas a fucking bug out, man, crazy as hell. And these niggas believe in all types of other things, but they can't tell me none of them niggas the greats of those people that follows those idols and gods. Tell me some names.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's dead weight, it's dead matter, and it don't matter. But here it is. Everybody has spoken about Moses. They still even make movies today about Moses, Isaiah, Jeremiah, the prophets, the apostles, man. The Bible itself, that I just showed you, it's a living book, but you're truly blessed if you have the true understanding and the mysteries of it. Furthermore, the Yahweh Shem Yahshua gave you the name so you can have faith in those names. You got it.
It says, verse 10, it says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And we know, according to these last days, man, the 2/3 of our people are going to perish.
That's right.
But I'm gonna go back to that First Corinthians 10.
Uh,
I think I was at verse 3. No, Slacky, verse 5.
yep.
It says, but even then, the Most High was not pleased with most of them, and so their dead bodies were scattered over the desert.
That's right.
And it says, verse 6, now all of this is an example for us to warn us not to desire evil things as they did.
Yep. Because
Nor,
even at one time you had Jake that made us what is it, a golden calf,
mm-hmm,
and he wilded out. They was D block before D block wild out, man.
mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It says, as they did, nor to worship idols as some of them did. It
Hold
says,
on. Hold on real quick. Let me hold on real quick. Let me see if I can get the point out of this. Wisdom of Solomon. I think it's the 13th verse. Let me see. Let me try 14. A quick point that I wanted. I'll get it later. You can go ahead, Slocky.
con. It says, verse 7, it says, nor to worship idols as some of them did, as the scripture says, the people sat down to a feast which turned into an orgy of drinking and sex. We must not we must not be guilty of sexual immortality as some of them were, and in one day and 3,000 of them fell dead.
No,
We must
23,000.
oh Salaki, 23,000 of them fell dead. We
The
must
Lord
not
sent
put oh
because
Salaki.
the Lord sent no, because the Lord sent a death angel amongst
Mm-hmm.
us. And
Con.
remember, a lot of times that a lot of stuff that go really originated. That's one thing why the Lord said not to, for whoredom to come amongst our people and sodomy not to come amongst our people, because all of that really all originates from temple practices, worshiping gods and idols. So things really just started getting freaky. And when you look at the condition of our people, one of the reasons why um, our people are messed up because a lot of times they're sexually driven. Um, One thing what Esau does in this society, the higher you go up in the society, that's when they really start in seducing you with the drugs and then the sexual endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
But that all in all goes back into temple prostitution and temple orgies of them other nations. That's why really what Esau does is push. They use our sex drive that the Lord gave to our people to what is it? Pretty much come together and men and women and to come together through marriage and procreate. But Esau took it and said, "Nah, we're gonna do one better. We're gonna make these niggas freaky. We're gonna make the whole world freaky and nasty and sexual driven." But but a whole big orgy and basically the party and orgy bullshit, the
Mm-hmm.
party and bullshit spirit. And this
Con.
is what really has taken over the mindset of Jakes. Because if it's not, sexually sex or behind money or how you say orgy driven,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much Jake don't want nothing, no part of it.
Con.
One thing in this truth, you have to control your loins as a man. You have to really pretty much try to keep your sex drive and your sexual control underneath you. If not, man, that's one thing that can drive you crazy. You got it, bro.
Khan, if I could add, it all go back to that Bacchus, spirit, basically that deity back
Yep.
during the time of the Grecian Empire of essentially everything that you were going into, are the things that these Edomites partook in, and basically wanted all nations and all people to be one people to partake in these different, rioting, excessive drinking, the orgies, and so on and so forth,
But it
and
goes,
that's
yep.
and, and that's why it's important when it speaks about in the book of Peter how you don't. They think it's strange of us, not partaking in those excess of rioting, partying, and so on and so forth. You know, that's
Yeah.
the Lord
Yep.
making that separation.
Yeah, because if you're not indulged in this lifestyle here, pretty much nobody wants you to be around them. The Valentine, the Galentine, you know, the just the regular sexual or regular days, and because it's like every year it's like a new holiday that's being created or driven. Which then when you really look at it, it goes back to an idol and a deity. But in all, it's like it's all motivated by lust, sex and orgies, man. It's not right. And this whole society is just sexually driven, but it's not for the ordinance of a family or structure. It's to destroy you. They tell women to just constantly have a bunch of men, and then they just they throw porn at men. Men are teased. It's ultimately they're driven. They want men to just indulge in pleasure. And in that spirit, man, you that's a very dangerous, destructive way of living. Somebody that's chasing pleasure all the time. And
Con,
remember, when in Wisdom of Solomon, I can't find it off top. It tells you about how those idols they don't keep nothing intact because they're fake gods. They don't have no power to do so. So they don't keep marriages intact. They don't keep things in order. It just by your belief in something that's made by hands, it just makes you indulge in more pleasure. You got it.
it says, we must not put the Lord to the test as some of them did, and they were killed by snakes. We must not
Mhm.
complain as some of them did, and they were destroyed by the angel of death.
That's right. Because again, going back to the murmurs that they did, the backbiting, and ultimately they just didn't believe. But here it is. we had an example. Basically, remember the scripture says in Jeremiah 17:4, um, we will lose our identity. But now there's places where we were told we were not we were not a people. Now we're being called the children of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. So the examples are there. You know, the fact that we woken up and nobody can gainsay who we are. Everybody's getting mad, bent out of shape. We're being persecuted. That's a little, examples of why you should um, want to hold firmly and grasply to this truth, the names. Go ahead.
Kind of says, if you think, oh, Slucky, it says all these things happened to them as examples for others, and they were written down as a warning for us.
There you
For
go.
we,
That's right. Because remember, it's going to be another great deliverance. If you can get that real quick, the Lord is not going to be known as the power that delivered us out of Egypt, but the power that delivered us, his people from the land of the north. You can get that, Baba Kasha?
con.
It's going to be another great deliverance, and Esau knows this, and these other nations are seeing this, and the whole world is seeing how the Lord is dealing with Israel, his people, his elect. And you also got to remember how the Lord really uses us as a whole nation for his name's sake. So it's a lot of things that's being done, but in the sake in the matter of the whole world, all for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah's sake. And these other nations are seeing these things.
Con, this is Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 7. It
Mm-hmm.
says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
See what this is what we're reading about now in First Corinthians, the 10th chapter, how the Lord delivered Israel as a whole nation during ancient Egypt. But Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is about to be another deliverance, a great one, even more. Even more better than the first one. Go ahead.
But the Lord liveth, which
And Slaki, and make a count that it says about chariots. It was chariots then. Don't we not see chariot sightings again?
Mm-hmm.
And it says Yahweh Shah was there then. Yahweh Shah came again, and now it says how the same fashion he went when he came when he walked the earth and was taken from the earth. He's going to come back in that same fashion. So it's a great resemblance when you read First Corinthians 10:1-5.
Yeah. Hey, Yahweh Shah led the Israelites out of Egypt. That pillar of fire by day,
Mm-hmm.
and that light by night.
con.
And, even before that, you had that death angel go through Egypt and smite. Well, hey, that was Yahweh Shah. And
Hey,
then it's,
Yahweh Shah leading us again. He's
yeah,
leading
yeah.
us.
And then in this second deliverance, hey, that's what's about to happen again.
That's
You
right.
know, Yahweh Shah is about to smite. He's about to come bring destruction. And he's also going to bring deliverance. Except this time, going into what you was going into, Korah, about that second deliverance, all of Israel is not going to be, delivered from captivity,
That's
like
right.
in ancient Egypt. This time, only a remnant, only an elect is going to be delivered and saved.
That's right.
I got a precept too. Whenever y'all want it.
You got it, bro.
Con.
This is Isaiah. With me or Zariala?
You got it,
Okay,
Amatai.
Con. This is Isaiah 30:7. It says, Egypt's, and this is in the NLT, it says, Egypt's promises are worthless. Therefore, I call her Rahab, the harmless dragon. Now go and write down these words, write them in a book, and write them in a book. They will stand until the end of time as a witness that these people are stubborn rebels who refuse to pay attention to the Lord's instructions. And this is, concerning you Israelites. They tell the seers, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right. Tell us nice things, tell us lies. Forget all this gloom. Get off your narrow path. Stop telling us about your Holy One of Israel. you know, and that's ultimately the mindset of our people going into the mirth, going into, you know, basically they refuse to hear the instructions from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, but they take heed to what Esau Edom is pushing. You know, they take heed to the modern day Pharaoh, you know, the Egyptians, and they seek, you know, some type of safe haven from them. But just like I said in that scripture, you know, the help that Egypt is giving you, you know, the modern day Egyptians, you know, Esau Edom is all in vain. The scriptures speak about Esau Edom basically being a pretender. You know, he'll help you when it gives him an advantage or works with his agenda, or he can profit, you know, off a certain matter that you partake in with him. But at the end of the day, you know, he's all for himself. You got it, brother.
Yeah, that's
Um,
beautiful to say that because I'm about to bring out Second Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 3. No,
Con,
not
you want me to
verse.
drop this Jeremiah?
Yeah. You're pretty much done with that.
Okay, Con.
So let me see verse 2. I'm gonna start at verse 2. So it says, matter of fact, no, I'm starting at verse 1. Second Thessalonians 2 and 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahweh Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, and by the gathering together unto him, because that's what you're seeing again. You're about to see another great deliverance through Yahweh Shah, just like the brother Mattathiah brought out. You know, Yahweh Shah was there in during the time of ancient Egypt, and he's also now with us, making his ways present and known to us, so we won't be acting like the 2/3 during those times. So it says that because what you're seeing now, you're seeing the modern day Pharaoh being risen up, which is Edomites, Esau. Verse 2, that it says that you be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by the letter as from us, as that the day of Yahushua is at hand. Because again, a great deliverance is about to happen again. So it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there become a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Remember, we fell as a nation, and ultimately to expose and reveal that who Esau, the so-called white man, is. Because remember, Esau, when he came into power, he didn't come in as an Edomite. He came in as white in other pernicious ways. He took philosophies and ways of of ancient Egypt, the Assyrian Empire, the Babylonian Empire, with the Persian and the Medes, and the Greek Empire, Roman Empire, and this is the extension of it, and all bundled in one. So he made his life seem so fashionable and so presentable, same way our people was confounded in the ways of ancient Egypt. So it says, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called the Most High Power, Yahweh, or that is worship, so that he's as a power sitteth in the temple of Yahweh, Bashem Shah, showing himself that he is a power, and that's what Esau has done. And that's why the whole world is pretty much, especially our people, is pretty much is in a state where they believe the so-called white man, and whatever he has told our people to do, that's all our people know, and that's all and I say that's how their actions resemble. So it
Yeah.
said, "You not that when I was with you, I told you these things," and it says, "And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity do have already worked. Only he who now letteth elect until he be taken out of the way." And it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And that's this, Esau, this infrastructure, and shall destroy it with the brightness of his coming. Because remember, even during the time of ancient Egypt, who Yahweh destroyed it. But now in this ancient Egypt, this Egypt that's now, Yahweh Shah is going to destroy it.
Yeah.
So it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs of
Mm-hmm.
lying wonders. That's his infrastructure with all
And
deceit.
if I may say, you know, going into those lying wonders, just like in ancient Egypt, you know, the Egyptians, you know, Pharaoh had his witches and warlocks, and they had power. You know, they were able to do those lying wonders in the sight of men to, you know, uh, show himself as being a god on the earth. You know,
That's right.
showing himself as something to be worshipped. And Esau Edom is doing the same thing now. You
That's
know,
right.
he's trying to further his god status on the earth with this technology. You know, his pseudoscience, you know, all the things that he's been given on the left hand side, and furthermore, you know, that micro C hip that he wants everyone to have inside of them. That's gonna, you know, further his God status, you know, on the earth. You know.
Hey, what's that? What's that agenda? That the WEF want. They want you to own nothing and be happy.
Gone.
You got to really take that into consideration, man.
Yep.
And remember, these are Edomites that's what wiser than Daniel. They have
Yeah.
studied the body. They have studied the mind. They know how to conceive. How you say deceive the people
Yeah.
with pleasure.
Yep. And that Michael C. Hibbs, that checkmate for the people.
That's right.
You know, that if he can get you to take that, he knows that's checkmate. You know, because like we always like to bring out, that microchip is that micro C hip is deeper than what meets the eye. It's more than just a device, a cashless payment, something that can be scanned and this, that, and so forth. Ultimately, once you take that, Esau's going to have control of your body.
That's right. That's right. That again, if you love this society and basically if you don't have faith, you're going to take it. So
Right.
it says, verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of truth, that they might be saved. Let me see. Verse 11, and for this cause, Yahweh Bashir Shah shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie.
Mm-hmm.
They all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. And that's going into our people. So if our people that get caught up in this society is going to be the same thing that happened to in ancient Egypt. You're going to be destroyed. And that's pretty much it out of that one. You can go back to 1 Corinthians 10.
I got a quick precept real quick.
Got it, bro. Because I got some.
Y'all ain't read Isaiah 11 yet, have y'all?
I don't believe so.
Okay, wow. This is Isaiah 11:11. And it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. See, the second time he's only coming to deliver a remnant. He's not coming to deliver all of the Israelites out of captivity, out of the hands of the Egyptians, And just like the scriptures speak about, we're not, this deliverance, we're not leaving with no type of substance like we left in ancient Egypt. We left with gold and silver, and the Egyptians were giving us things. This deliverance, we're not even leaving with these bodies, man. Like the scripture says, we're going to be changed at a twinkling of the eye. It says, what shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So that second deliverance is the elect that is scattered all over the four corners of the earth, and that's going to come via these ships, these so-called UFOs that were on the scene in the times of ancient Egypt. We're on the scene in the times of the deliverance.
That's right.
Of the Israelites out of Egypt,
and basically how it says how going up to the first verses in First Corinthians the 10th chapter, how they were baptized underneath Moses. Well, we understand through this word we're baptized underneath Yahweh Shah.
Yeah.
So it says because ultimately the whole deliverance thing, they had to pretty much put the blood of the lamb over their doorpost. And then so those plagues wouldn't hit them.
Yeah.
So
and that further proves that salvation is only for Israel. Because going into Isaiah 11, we just read, it says the deliverance for the second time. Well, when was the first deliverance for you heathens?
That's right.
And you brought up 1 Corinthians the 10th chapter. Hey, when Paul was speaking, he was only speaking to the Israelites because these other nations would have no recollection or account of what he was even talking about.
Because they was never there. How can you talk to a heathen that wasn't there? That's like you growing up with peers in your neighborhood. Y'all all know what happened in your neighborhood, and you just coming up on a platform and it's talking to everybody. They're gonna be like, I don't know shit about Ohio. I don't know shit about Virginia, Puerto Rico. I don't know about St. Lucie. I don't know what the fuck. What are you talking about? That's like when a lot of New Yorkers, the rappers I've known, and people I grew up with out there, they would say certain things, but only them niggas from them blocks would know. Like if you
the details.
Yeah, if you grew up in Buffalo, everybody that's from Buffalo would know what he's talking about. If anybody know about Slimies, you know about Slimies if you're from Ohio, Cleveland.
Yeah.
If somebody said Slimies, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So you get what we're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
They even go hand in hand like with the slang. You
Yeah.
know, when people use certain words, and you know when because you know Jake they love to tell stories. So they telling a story and they putting certain slangs and certain words in that story, like you were going into. People will be confused. Like, okay, what does this have to do with me? You know.
Yep.
Because even in Spanish, Dominicans have their own slang. I remember certain shit I had to look at and be like, yo, what the hell is he talking? And even in so-called Cubans, they have a different slang and different dialect, man. So again, if you don't understand or don't know, you're not gonna understand it. So the point that brother is talking about, how the hell are you gonna know what happened in the story of Moses and ultimately Yahweh Shah if you was never there? It just don't make sense. And that's why ultimately these other nations are now getting angry at us now because they realize we don't understand that song. We don't understand that slang because it's not for you.
Mm-hmm.
You thought it was for you, but now you're realizing, damn, I wasn't there, and I'm not going to be saved. So this is where the problem come in. You see, this is why like you we're talking about the sifting matter. Now you're seeing why it's such a beautiful thing, and now that we have the faith of Yahweh Bashem Shah, why we shouldn't be moved, why your actions should be so firm into proven and moving by faith. Um, you have more on that. Matter of fact, I got precept. So it says Mark 16:16. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. Going back to what we've been talking about. But it said, but he that believeth not shall be damned. So basically, you're going to be consumed and destroyed by the anger of Yahweh. And basically, you're going to when Esau sets up this new infrastructure, the new world order, you're going to want to go into it. Going to the book of First Corinthians, the 10th chapter. They complain, they murmur, they talk shit, and ultimately they wanted to go back to Egypt.
Yep.
We want to leave Egypt. We want to get the fuck out of here.
Yep. Hey, our people in the same mindset. They want to stay in. They want to stay in America, man. You know.
And we were talking about that yesterday, bro. All our people know is what they saw on TV. And once you take them out their comfort zone, they don't know how to act.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you take niggas out of the hood, they don't know how to act. That's all they know. That's all a nigga know. That you take Latinos out of their culture, they don't know how to act.
Yep.
What they start malfunctioning and they want to go right back to it. They love that comfortability. Regardless of what the persecution, the atrocities, the pain, the agony that they have seen in this society, that's all they know.
Right.
Is it more? Let me see.
On First Corinthians 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you want it from
Yeah, go back
12 to
go to verse 11. Go back to verse 11.
okay. Come on. It says,
Be
First
formed.
Corinthians 10 and 11, all these things happened to them as examples for others, and they were written down as a warning for us, for we
Mm-hmm.
live at a time when the end is about to come.
Yeah, because it's about to end. What you see and
Yep.
what you see what the so-called white man has done and is talking about doing is about to be the end. Like the scripture says, your house shall come as a thief in the night. Because
Yep.
yeah, the so-called white man is talking great things and the new world order, this great infrastructure, WEF. But ultimately, we understand it's not going to come to fulfillment. Like the scripture says, when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction, man.
Yeah. And these wicked elite Edomites, they don't desire the end. You know, it's these lower level Edomites who are involved in these Christian philosophies, these other doctrines that desire the day of the Lord. You know, because of what they believe, what they falsely believe from the scriptures and these doctrines, man. You know, they desire the day of the Lord because they think that they're going to receive salvation because they pray a prayer, a simple prayer of salvation that they receive from their pastor. You know, but they actually desire, you know, their own destruction. These wicked elites, they know that, you know, the day of the Lord is the end of them, the end of
Yep.
their rulership. So they're trying to further their time on this earth. They're trying to further their rulership. you know, and he's using his witchcraft, he's using everything that he's been given, all his power and his might to further their time and their position, because they know that, you know, hey, that like it speaks about in Revelation the 12th chapter, you know, that his time is coming to an end. You know, I got a quick precept. This is Amos 5:18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord! To what end is it for you? For the day of the Lord is darkness and not light." You know, and Esau Edom, he doesn't desire the day of the Lord. You know, that's
Mhm.
a frightening thing. That's the thing that he is trying to strive away from. You know, but there's nothing he can do about it. You
And
know,
that's why these Edomites, these lower level, see these lower level Christian Edomites, and we understand Christianity is idolatry. It has no truth
yeah,
in it.
yeah,
That's all they got left because
yeah,
ultimately they're realizing, damn,
yep,
if the Lord does come back,
yeah, yeah.
it is the end for us.
Yeah, that's what scriptures speak about, the accuser of our brethren, who's
Mhm.
constantly accusing us before the Most High Yahweh. Esau thinks if he can get us to go off and involved in all these things, you know, more and more and further, that, you know, that can extend his time period, you know, on the earth. You know, and he's trying to, like we was going into the micro sea here. You know, if I can get the whole world to take this sea here,
Yep.
just maybe, you know, I can be in this position of power, Lord. Maybe I could be in this position of power forever. You know, maybe we can actually defeat the Lord, right? You know, that's what he's striving for, man. He's striving for something that's unattainable. Even he knows that he can't attain it, but this man was created, you know, to strive for it anyway, man. You know,
I got
this is the man of destruction, man. You
that's
know,
right.
so
Man of perdition.
yeah, yeah. So he's gonna strive for things, even though he knows he ain't gonna be able to get it, even if it comes to his own demise.
I got a precept real quick. Now, 1 John 5:19 through 21, it says, "And we know that we are of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, and the whole world lieth in wickedness." And since we come out with the scriptures and we have our faith, now is it not a coincidence that we're all demonized now? Because ultimately, these people Esau have to pretty much try to make us and try to deceive us into going back into his programming.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not going to work.
Yep.
And it says, verse 20, "And we know that the Son of Yahweh is come and has given us an understanding that we may know him that is true. And we are in him that is true, even in his Son Hamashiach Yahushua. This is the true power and eternal life." It says, verse 21, "Little children, keep yourselves from idols." Amen. So we understand that this everything else outside of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is idolatry, which we were reading about. And the
Yep.
Lord constantly talks about staying away from idols. This whole society is driven off idols because, again, Esau didn't come into power and say, "Yes, I'm an Edomite, and
Yeah.
this is how I'm ruling." You know, no, he stole. He came in as a disguise of matter form. I'm white, and this is who I am. But everything that he has gotten from the old ancient ways of idols and
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Esau's the ultimate agent. You
master
know.
disguise. He's a
Yeah.
master. The movie, hey, everybody should watch that movie, Master of Disguise, man.
Yep.
He played a great role. That nigga was everything, and that's what Esau have done. He blended in and tried to be everything, but one thing he cannot blend in, he can't blend into this truth no more. He has been exposed, man. And
Yep.
then now we are here to tell our people not to get caught blindsided and not to get caught in his wickedness, because is it not a coincidence vocab constantly tries to separate our people, and you got other Christians, etc. It seems like the persecution's gotten more heavier now because ultimately they know that we got the truth.
Yeah. Yep.
You
Yeah.
got it.
Even vocab, even vocab is mesmerized. You know, when he watches the you know the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, you know, he watched these various different camps. You know, he's you know, ultimately he's in a state of awe. You know, he like, how did these men, how did these guys, you know, have this knowledge? How are they able to break the scriptures down like that? You know, he's actually learning from us. You know, and off the strength of him trying to combat and come against, you know, the, you know, quote unquote black Hebrew Israelites,
Yep.
you know, which he's nothing but, you know, like we was going into an agent, he's just, you know, someone set up. You know, he's just furthering, you know, this truth. You know, he's just benefiting, helping, and aiding to this truth, like the scripture speaks about. Man, there's nothing that you can do for the truth off the strength of people coming to Vocab's channel. It's ultimately leading them,
Yep,
you
yep.
know, to the truth, man. A lot. You got Jake that never heard of the Hebrew Israelites, man. You know, or if they've heard about them, they never watched a live stream, never watched a video, a sit down, but they came across you know, these different Christian sites, these Christian pages, and now they're exploring. They're like, hold on, let me hear, what is this about? That makes sense. Hold on, you know. So, hey, man, you know, there's nothing you can do against this truth.
I had a precept concerning Esau.
You got it.
This is Sirach chapter 12 in verse 10. It says, "Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness."
Yeah, going back to ancient Egypt. Why the fuck would you trust an ancient
Yeah,
Egyptian?
it gets worse. See, rust gets worse. Rust don't never get better. You know,
Mm.
Russ is gonna constantly get worse until it completely crumbles, and that's Esau Edom. You know, his wickedness has gotten worse. It ain't gotten better. You know, our people think because they can have a job, they got a cell phone, they drive around in a car, they got a little house, some little technology and Wi-Fi, you know, and they can work side by side with the so-called white man, that, you know, all of a sudden that Esau Edom, you know, his wickedness, his agendas, you know, and the various different things that he used to do that he's not doing now. He's doing even more so, man. He's just doing it, you know, in a more subtle fashion where these people just can't finger point it.
Well, look at the whole how he conquered the Americas with Northern Kingdom, and then he brought Judah over here and Benjamin and Levi over here. Now look at during the hardcore slavery, and then look at when the presidents were set up, and then look at the same, and then look at modern day. What the fuck has changed?
Yeah, yeah, right.
It's even worse now, because now this devil can literally kill you, murder our people, and then direct the whole attention to somewhere else, to a football game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's worse now.
Yeah, because he can portray the good guy. Back then, you know, when these you know, these things were taking place, he couldn't portray that he was the good guy. You know, now, you know, Jake would, you know, ultimately try to be in league with Esau, and, you know, entered in certain agreements, so, you know, ultimately their lands wouldn't get taken or they wouldn't get slaughtered. But at the end of the day, you know, they knew who this man was. You know, now Esau can portray that he's the good guy. He can say, you know, hey man, yeah, you're an American. This is the land of the free, the home of the brave. You know, and this man has gotten this land. He has gotten his power off the strength of bloodshed of the Israelites. You know, but everybody looks at, you know, his power, his establishment, and who he is as being right, and as being, you know, this man is for the betterment of humanity. And that's how he's coming across, man. Even with his technology, even with this you know, this micro hip that he's about to roll out, he's rolling it out as being a good guy, as in I'm trying to better the humanity, you know. And this is how we can come together as one. This is how we can stop these diseases, we can stop these wars, you know, we can stop oppression. Everyone's life is going to be better off the strength of you receiving this thing, you know.
Kind of, if I could add, that's ultimately why Christianity is so fucking bugged out, because they know that this man is a damn devil. Because they constantly ask, can the white man be saved? Because they know so much wickedness that this nigga didn't did, and everything that they preach in these churches saying that everybody can be saved. And then
Yeah,
here
yeah,
we are coming on the scene telling you that he can't be. Hey, ain't no saving this damn devil. He's the
yeah,
wicked.
yeah, yeah,
They get all confused and messed up in the head, because it's like, well, damn, maybe
yeah,
they
yeah,
are right. He can't be saved because all the
yeah,
wickedness
yeah.
that he done.
Yeah, he's been exposed because like yesterday at camp, you had that you know, that so-called Arab come up, and yo, he basically said, yeah, you know, he said, I know that I know this man is not to be trusted, you know, because he pointed at that, you know, that sign we had, you
He
know,
look,
because I said to him, you know, because I perceived him to being, you know, from Iran, Iraq area, you know, I pointed, I was like, you should know all about this man, you know, you should know exactly what he's about. He's like, yeah, I do.
he looked like he was trying to be Clark Kent.
Yeah, yeah.
He
He could have been. He
he read
probably was a Jake.
discrimination, and he was able. He looked like he had a sense of relief when he was able to say,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
yeah,
you saw."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He said, I like that nigga. I like him.
Yeah.
yeah. Because Esau's running through their lands, making wars, setting up these various different militias, destroying their villages, taking from their land, robbing and stealing. He goes over there and makes war, and he just stays over there for, in detriment period of
Yeah.
time. And then he sets up things over here and in various different lands upon the earth, false flag attacks, and he blames it on them. They're like,
Yeah.
hold up, wait a minute. We over here, you destroying everything we got. We was living all right. We was living good before you, before it really goes into the leadership of those particular lands, making leagues with Esau. But the people, feel the full effect of that, man.
Khan, I'm gonna finish this out. It says, verse 11, it says, though he humble himself and
Mhm.
go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Because essentially it's basically similar to fucking mold. When you get mold in the house, you can't wipe away mold. That shit just spreads, it gets thicker, and it gets worse and worse. You gotta tear everything down, man.
I got
You
I got
can't cure mold.
I got a piece up. This is 2 Corinthians 6:14. I'm gonna go to 18. It says, verse 2 Corinthians 2:6 and 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. And he's not talking about Kevin Samuels and the fucking black woman. Because they always used to say that you unequally yoked. Going way off the fucking radar with that. But read that again. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Because going into Esau and even our own people, it's like rust. And majority why people are unbelievers because what? They believe the so-called white man. So they have his rust, his mold. They're no good. And when basically all the 2/3 of our people, if they don't believe, pretty much all they're going to do is try to make you go back into the world, talking that worldly shit.
Yeah.
Going
Hey,
back
what
to
is the scriptures? What the scripture says, if it these days weren't shortened by the Most High Yahweh, for the election's sake, there'll be no flesh, no flesh no flesh left, man.
Yep.
This devil would, going into that rush you was talking about, he would basically seek to destroy everything, man. He's trying to take the moon out, he's trying to take the stars out, he's destroying the earth. He's saying the things that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has established that were good, for humankind, he's completely against. Just like the scripture speaks about, what is it, wine, oil, and various different foods were created, for the good for the earth. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but since evil has come, they made it wicked.
Yeah. Let me get that real quick.
Flour, water, fire.
Right. Yeah, Esau, he didn't turn that into evil, man.
Yeah, flour is no good for you now.
Right.
You got white flour. That shit is bad for you.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find that. How was it? Wine, oil.
It's a rock somewhere.
Yeah.
It sounds so right. I can put it up on the screen.
Let's see. Good. Sirach 39 and 26. If you can grab it, Zariel. I think it 26 and 27.
This is Sirach chapter 39 and you want me to start at 25?
Yeah, you can.
It says for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. It says, verse 26, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, not flour of wheat.
Hey, look, water. But water's bad for you.
Yeah. Honey, milk, got this GMO milk.
Yeah.
Even if you drink almond milk, that shit got what, like 10 ingredients in it. It should be
Yep.
almond. It should just be almond milk.
Yep.
Yep.
Almonds, I mean, Shalaki.
It says in the blood of grape and oil and clothing, mixed fabrics and so on and so forth, everything.
Yeah.
Anointed everything. And it says verse 27, all these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil.
Yeah. Esau turned it all into evil, man. You know, it turned the fruit, the water. You know, everything is polluted. You know, he's polluting your. You know, even the very down to the very clothing that you put on has all these different types of chemicals in it, man. You know, so you really can't get away from the pollutions. You really can't get away from and all these. You got all these Jakes, all these Israelites, Jakes that know they're Israelites, saying that you can keep the law 100%. How? That's impossible, man.
You know, certain washcloths that you buy, that shit got so much color and chemicals on it.
Yeah.
If you just put water in it, you take a shower, you can just wring it out. The colors
Right.
it start bleeding, leaking out the washcloth.
Yeah.
So the thing that happens to you when you soap it up, put the soap on it, and you put it all over your body, it goes into your pores. Especially you got the hot water coming into your skin.
Yeah, I mean, everything you put on your body goes into your bloodstream.
Yep.
You know, and a nigga will stand in front of you with a bold face and tell you he keeps the law 100%. You know, that's impossible, man. You can't keep the law 100%. Furthermore, Esau is offering everything that you digest unto idols, man.
Yep.
So everything that you basically, you know, eat, take, touch has been offered and sacrificed in some shape or form or matter, you know, to a deity, to another god.
That's right.
You know?
This whole society is driven of idols. So it says, I'm going back to Second Corinthians 6, God damn, tongue twister. 2 Corinthians 6:14. So it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness?
Yeah.
And what communion have light with darkness? Verse 15, and what concord has Yahushua with Belial? Or what part have he that believeth with an infidel?
Yeah.
And what agreement have the temple of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power. See that?
Yeah.
As Yahweh Bashim Yahushua have said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jerusalem is a people before a place. Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
Yeah.
You got it?
No, go ahead. You got it.
Last verse, and will be a father unto you, and you should be my sons and daughters, said the Lord Almighty.
Yep.
So going back to unbelief and that going back to that faith.
Yeah. And that goes, you know, these other camps, that's what they don't teach. They don't teach faith. They don't teach in the belief. You know, it's all about keeping the commandments. You know, it's all about keeping the law, and you can be saved off the strength of keeping the law. And it doesn't make sense to me how you can say you can be saved off of the strength of keeping the law, and in the same breath teach about you know, the prophecy of Jacob's trouble, because that doesn't even make sense. You know, because you know right now we have a certain you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, we're not under hardcore captivity, so to speak, in the sense of, you know, not able to do certain things. But, you know, in the time of Jacob's trouble, you know, that it's going to be a different time period. It's not going to be like we're just going to be able to go to the, you know, the gas station. We're going to be able to go to the store. We're going to be able to sit and, you know, chill at the crib, turn the TV on, this and that, you know. So explain to me how you going to keep even the laws that you keep now during Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jake's through, man. You know, you just gonna be able to walk around with your fringes all day in Jacob's trouble. You know, so you ain't gonna wear no type of mixed fabric.
Yeah.
You know, when all hell breaks loose, when you're running for your life, when you trying to survive, when it's a survival of the fittest type mindset. You know, explain Revelation 2nd chapter when, you know, Esau gets a hold of your ass and throws you in prison. You know, throws you in jail. How you gonna keep the law 100% in there? You know, just like the scriptures speak about, I believe it's Galatians the 2nd chapter, that If we can keep the law perfect under salvation, then Yahweh Shai died in vain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what these camps are doing. They're really trying to cut Yahweh Shai out the picture. And then
Yep.
you basically can just go straight to Most High Yahweh. You know, you can go straight to the Most High Yahweh without using the mediator. That you don't need no mediator. That you can go through, you know, the law. You know, but we already broke that first covenant. We already broke, you know, the law to the point that that covenant that was made between the Israelites and the Most High Yahweh is already broken. So there's no going back from that, man. You
Yep.
know. So even if you say you can keep the law 100%, well, guess what? In your previous life, you broke the law, and even before you came into this truth, you were breaking those laws. You know, so the only way we can receive salvation is through Yahweh Shai.
That's
Okay.
right.
And it's not dictated off of keeping the law 100%. We try to keep the law to the best of our abilities, but salvation, like the brother was going into, is going to come by that belief and by faith, and it's in the grace from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And ultimately, it's of being selected to be a member of that elect. You know, if you're of the elect, you're going to be saved, man. As simple as that.
Quick one.
Go ahead. And then
This
go
is
back to
James.
2 Corinthians 10 and go to verse 15. Then we can wrap it up.
Con.
Did you want me to get verse 12 as well in that First Corinthians 10?
Yep.
Okay, this is James chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all." So
Yeah,
breaking
yeah.
one was like breaking all of them.
Yep. Hey, they breaking the law just going out there and teaching because they ain't teaching the scriptures correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, hey, what does the scripture speak about? If someone tells you, persuades you to worship another god, you know, they supposed to be stoned to death. They telling you to call upon Jesus Christ, man. You're not even supposed. What does the scripture say? What is it in? I believe it's Deuteronomy. You're not even supposed to make mention of another god.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find that.
This is back in First Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12. It says, "If you
Hold on,
think."
real quick. I got a couple precepts
Like,
before Matataya. This is Titus 2 and 7. It says, "In all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity." Um, and that's how, and that will come with your faith being unmovable. 2 Corinthians 2 and 17. For we are not as many which corrupt the word of Yahweh Bashim Shah, but as sincerity, but as of Yahweh Bashim Shah, in the sight of Yahweh, we speak in Yahweh Shah.
Yep.
Philippians 1 and 10, that ye may approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere and without offense till the day of Yahweh Shah comes. One more, First Peter 1 and 22, seeing ye have purified your souls in obeying the truth, purify your spirit, your spirits in obeying this truth through the spirit unto unfeigned love of the brethren, seeing that ye love one another and with a pure heart
Mm-hmm.
fervently. So again, you know, your actions, patterns of good works, you know,
Yeah.
lesson edifying,
Yep.
you know, how you treat each other. That's really, you know, all in all showing you what you really believe in.
Yeah.
Doing these lessons, doing videos, just being on point and just being
Yeah.
again, not fucking with the world, man. Not, you know, you just doing what you got to do to the point to keeping. Again, we always talk about this in GMS Virginia, mental fortitude, because you got to have mental fortitude to keep believing in Yahweh Shem Shah, because this whole world is, and how the way they rule off idols is to fuck with your mental fortitude and
Yeah.
bring you back into basically to the dead world, a dead state. You got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found that precept. It's Exodus 23 and 13. It says, "And in all things that I've said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth." So you're not even supposed to be mentioning these other gods in a shape, form, or fashion, you know, to be worshipped and accepted, you know,
That's
by your people, man. You know, speaking about Jesus Christ, man. You know, so and there's the basically going into the laws, you know, going into the commandments, you know, of the scriptures. It's really the whole book, you know, everything in this book that is commanded us for us to do, you know, is a law, is a command, you
yep.
know. These guys that say keep the law 100% and push the law, they really don't understand the law. You know, they
They
really
don't.
don't understand the basis. They really don't understand the extremities of the law. You know, and also the details of the law, because they teach a couple laws, you know, but they don't go into the details of the law, you know, down to the T, you know, because if you're going to keep the law 100%, you know, it's hey, the law is very, very technical, you know. You know, oh, I didn't know. Well, nah, the law is technical, you know, and you don't know, you know, what has happened. Uh, uh, you know, case in point, like we always like to bring out, you know, the places you sit, you know, where you eat, certain things you do, you know, you don't have no control over. And you could be breaking the law off the strength of you trying to keep the law 100%. But guess what? You're breaking the law because, you know, there's certain things and certain matters that you have no control over, especially being in captivity, man. You know, you done sat on a bench, you done went and rode a bus, you done hopped on the bus, you sat in a seat. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who sat in that seat before you. So off the strength of that, guess what? Off the strength of your ignorance, and you not having control of the matter, guess what? You broke the law, you know? So what are you gonna say about that, man? Someone you sat in that seat before you, say a woman sat in that seat before you and she was on her monthly. Guess what? You sat in that seat right after her, you know? So
Um,
you broke the law, you unclean.
Even looking at a woman that you may see, you know, in the street on the highways and
Exactly.
byways. Hey, you don't know if that woman got a husband at home, and here you are. You know, you may go up to her and then come to find out, you know, she got a man.
Exactly. Yeah, so there's technicalities of the law that these other camps they don't go into, you know.
I did have a quick precept I made to back you up that you brought out in Exodus.
Con.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 2. It says, "For I am a jealous power over you with godly jealous, for I have espoused you to one
Yeah,
husband."
yeah. See, hey, so hey, someone who's jealous, hey, they they critiquing you to the T. You know what I'm saying? Say you got a woman, man. You know you really in love with this woman. Hey, if you see her, just look at another dude. You look at you. Oh, whoa. You really. Hey, you coming for that woman on site? Like, hold on, what's going on here? I saw you. What was you? You checking him out? Huh? What's going
Uh-huh.
on here? You know, you ain't about to just let that slide.
Yeah, God. It says, "For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to
Yeah,
Hamashiach.
con.
But I feared lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach. For if he that cometh preaches another Yahweh Shai, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit which ye have not received, or another
Mm-hmm.
gospel which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him." You know, so
Yeah.
ultimately that's what you see, man. They preaching another Yahweh Shai, man.
Yep.
You know, they
Yeah.
law. Well, Yahweh Shai is about faith, grace, and mercy. You know,
Yep. Yeah,
Either
they ain't pushing the true names of the Most High and His Son. You know, they ain't pushing Yahweh Yahweh Shai. You know, which is very very important. You know, as well as the long laundry list that these other camps go off on. You know,
mm-hmm.
yeah,
I got a quick.
yeah,
No, go ahead,
they're,
bro.
they're, no, they're pretty much they're not teaching the kingdom.
Yeah,
They're teaching
yeah.
Right.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
You got
Hey,
you got
the brother put a the brother GMS Hawashai Nawana
Nawash.
put
Mhm.
First John 1 and 8, we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, the water, and the truth is not in us. You know, so they're
Mm,
doing nothing but just deceiving themselves, man. You know, I got a quick precept. This is Galatians 2 and
Mhm.
20. It says, I am crucified with Yahweh Shai Mashiach, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Yahweh Shai Mashiach liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of Yahweh, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not frustrate the grace of Yahweh, for if righteousness, and this is what they're doing, man, they're frustrating the grace of Yahweh. It says, I do not frustrate the grace of Yahweh, for if righteousness come by the law, then Yahweh Shai is dead in vain. You know, so we can't get righteousness through the law, man. You know, just like the brother put in the First John 1 and 8, you know, hey, what is sin? Sin is that transgression of the law. So if you're saying, you know, you keep the law 100%, guess what? You're saying, hey, I'm basically not sinning. You
Mhm.
know, so you're doing nothing but deceiving yourself because you can't fool Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You ain't gonna be able to fool the Lord.
And remember another thing too, you can take in the whole matter. While we was in ancient Egypt, we wasn't keeping the law then.
Mm.
Yep.
Remember, through our faith and belief in the whole system that Moses uh, uh, gave us the commandments.
Yeah, yeah,
He commanded us to do certain things.
yeah,
How you say, Yahweh led us and showed us miracles, and
yeah.
then ultimately in Mount Sinai he gave us the law. He writ it down.
Yeah, on paper, because it was oral before that.
Yep, before it was
Yeah,
orally, but best believe in ancient Egypt we wasn't keeping the law 100%.
right.
But the whole matter is that our people did not wholeheartedly believe in the whole situation that was going on, and they saw the great miracles then. So take everything that we're going into. Take the whole matter is faith in Hamashiach Yahushua and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The
Yeah,
whole matter of things.
yeah,
So just remember, we can't keep the law to 100%. But one thing we can't us having those names and knowing that we have faith in basically the Bible, the Comforter, we can try our best to try to do them. But
yeah,
all in all, is that faith not being moved.
yep, yeah. That's
You
right.
got it, Zariala.
Con, this is First Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12. It says, "If you think you are standing firm, you had better be careful that you do not fall.
Yep.
Every test that you have experienced is the kind that normally comes to people. But
Mm-hmm.
the Most High
Going,
keeps it."
going, going into a Sirach, I believe the 43rd chapter or the 40th verse, the 40th chapter, I believe. It talks about how every man that comes into this world has adversity. But then it goes down, I believe like the 20th verse, if I'm not mistaken, it tells you it's even worse for sinners. Go ahead.
Mm. It says, "Every test that you have experienced is the kind that normally comes to people. But
Uh-huh.
the Most High keeps his promise, and he will not allow you to be tested beyond your power to remain firm."
Yeah,
That's
like the scriptures speak about, that hour of temptation that the Lord's going to keep the elect, and from that, that hour of temptation from taking that micro C hip. But if you're not of the elect, you're going to be given over to that, and that's the that's the heavy test that's approaching us, and a lot of these Israelites are going to fail that test because what are they telling their congregation? It ain't MOT ain't no microchip. Keep the commandments, keep the law. You know, which we've done videos going into that would be going into the technicalities of the law. That would be a breaking of the law. Receiving Esau's electronic device under your skin. But it's funny how they'll like since we're on the topic of the law, they don't teach. Let's even in their belief. Okay, you don't believe that the micro C hip is the MOTB. Cool. All right, shouldn't you still be teaching your congregation to not receive a electronic device under the skin off to the strength of keeping the law 100%, pursuing the Leviticus the 19th chapter? It's crazy that you aren't teaching your congregation not to take it, even though they don't believe it's not the MOTB. It just shows you these guys are set up, man. Because off the strength of not keeping the law, Leviticus 19 and 28 says you ain't supposed to put no mark, cutting in your flesh. So
a lot of them going to basically a lot of those people that claim that they're Israelites. What's going to eventually happen is this is going to go back into the world because all in all,
yeah.
the
Like
faith is
like that Nick, remember that nigga that came up to camp? Yeah, we used to see. I used to see out where we live at. You'd be selling them oils, and he was one of them fringe Israelite fringe. On the job, everywhere he go, fringes. And then we saw him come up to camp. He looked like Carlton from Fresh Prince. Man, had the goddamn sweater on with wrapped around his front. I said, "What the hell? I didn't recognize this dude, man." He didn't went all the way back in the world, man. He say, "I ain't an Israelite no more."
sincerity.
His wife, his woman left him. after his woman left him, he said, nah, I ain't doing this Israelite stuff no more, man.
It hurts too much.
I got a quick precept. This is Revelation 2:10. It says, fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, but be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So
Yep,
hey,
mental fortitude.
yeah. So you ain't gonna be able to keep the laws that you can even keep now, in prison, imprisonment. You're gonna be fed certain types of food. You ain't gonna know what's in it. You're gonna be, in jail. You're gonna, be beaten. All types of things are gonna be happening.
You may have to fast because they might offer you a pork,
Yeah,
defiled food in that jail that you might have to fast. You going to forsake.
Yeah, and it's been known these jails have been known to be adding all different types of abominable foods, to the various different dishes and products that they feed prisoners, man.
Yep. Continue on, Zariala.
This is back in 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 13. It says, but the Most High keeps his promise, and he will not allow you to be tested beyond your power to remain firm. At the time you are put to the test, he will give you the strength to endure it, and so provide you with a way out.
Yep.
And you said jump down to verse 16, right?
Hey, going back to earlier, even though we was in the wilderness, the Lord, he was with us.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Kind of says verse 16.
It showed you the ones that believed made it through, but the ones that didn't, they had to get up out of there.
Yep.
And it pretty much tell you that Yahweh had to keep them in the wilderness for a long time to shake out that whole generation. They were faithless.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And some of them even lost faith. Some of them had faith, to an extent, and then a period of time, they lost their faith. Going into the deliverance and seeing how Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai basically delivered the Israelites, parting the sea, destroying Pharaoh's armies, even the way that the Lord was feeding us. Over the period of time, you had Jake say, you know what, I don't believe no more. I don't have no more faith, man. They say, what did you bring us out here, Moses, to die in the wilderness? After all the things that they seen, they say, you done brought us out here to die.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, the Lord is not in control. Like the Lord don't know what he's doing. Look what you went through. Look what you have gone through. Just like Jake always wants to see a sign. Jake wants to see something spectacular. But even in the event of that, Jake still, is not going to believe, man. And the Lord has just programmed their minds not to get it. Them
That's
being not of the elect. So there's nothing you can show Jake. We got to understand that when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, all the miracles that he did, all the things that he did right before the eyes of the Israelites, the majority of them didn't accept him. So yeah,
you got it.
Yeah, I'm saying, and those same Israelites are back on the scene today, man. The same Israelites that brought Yahweh Shai before the Romans that said, give us Barabbas, and let the blood of Yahweh Shai be upon us and our children's children. Hey, well, those niggas right here are on the earth today, scoffing, mocking, scorning, living out their life.
And Yahweh, and the thing about it, Yahweh Bashem Shai did it all for a certain reason, which we're eventually going to understand in the kingdom. And that's why, really, in all, in Romans 11 chapter, that's how the ultimate Yahweh knows how to he's going to deliver all of Israel. Same thing he told Edris. How do you love Israel more than me? I made this nation. So ultimately, the reason why is a certain reason why Yahweh did certain things. But our focus should be on believing on Yahweh Shai in our faith. But and then ultimately in the kingdom, we're going to understand the whole matter, because you got to understand 2/3 ain't going to get it.
Yeah.
Basically, you should know in the time that we're in now, you should know what's important, but ultimately, first and foremost, not to give in into idols. You got it, Zariala.
Hey, can I bring this out real quick?
Yep, you got it.
This is going off what you just statement you made. This is Second Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, "The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations,
Yep.
and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished." You got it,
There
bro.
you go. Hey, simple and plain.
Yeah.
You know, and ultimately, we know that Yahweh is going to save all of Israel.
Yep.
Going back to Romans 11 chapter.
Yep.
But right now, we have to focus on what's important.
Right.
You got this, Ariella,
Con.
because this is for the elect. And
First,
ultimately, you really do. We really do have to thank Yahweh Shem Shah, because through the wickedness of our people, he gave us an example of what not to be.
Yep.
So all in all praises go to Yahweh Shem Shah,
Right.
and that's why it's so beautiful. You got to remember, that's why it's so beautiful that the Lord chose us, and He parted us faith. And this is why, going back to Titus, what I brought out, I think 2:7, it tells you, since we have the names, we have that faith, we should be having a pattern of good works.
Yep.
And then that's how much on point we have to be with that mental fortitude, because we got to understand where Yahweh Bashar Rashad, he building the house of David before the whole world.
Right.
But basically, we're the soldiers and ambassadors of Yahweh Bashar Rashad. So it's a certain way we got to move and be on point. Yeah, you got it, Zariella. Go back in yep.
verse 16, right?
Yeah, go to verse 15. But I think you have 14 now.
Okay, Con. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 14. So then, my dear friends, keep away from the worship of idols.
Mm-hmm.
I speak to you as
the point of the video. Go ahead.
I speak to you as sensible people. Judge for yourselves what I say.
There you go. So no, that was it. Because what Paul was speaking on is basically the whole history of our people. He was breaking it down to the believers during the time of the Roman Empire. But now in modern day, we're speaking the same words to our people, the elect, in American Empire, the Edomites Empire. And we're breaking down the history of our people and ultimately showing our people what, you got to believe wholeheartedly in Yahweh Shem Shah. Bad times are coming. Death is coming. And you do not want to be like the unbelievers of 2/3 of our people,
Yeah. Just like in the time of what was it, King Nebuchadnezzar, man. He wanted everyone to bow down to that image, bow down to him ultimately. Well, Esau Edom, he's doing the same thing, man. And he's about to roll out. Yeah. He's about to roll out this device. Hey, instead of bowing down on your knees, guess what? He wants you to stick your arm out. Which in hits is the exact same thing, because you are making Esau Edom your God. You are making him, basically that idol that you worship, and you receiving his branding.
Because remember, that's beautiful you said that, because in times past you always had to bow. What Esau does now is, what is it? The so-called gift of free will. But that was ultimately sticking your fucking hand out, and you want to continue in free will pleasure.
Hey, that reminds me of the movie 300. He said, Leonidas requires you to what did he say with the fucked up guy with the hunchback? Where he went
he said Leonidas is a cruel god.
Yeah.
He will cry to you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
He said,
that's heavy though.
He said, I'm a kind God king.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I let you he said, pick what you want.
Yep.
He said he walked around, he was massaging his shoulders.
Yeah.
He showed him around, he showed him the prostitution, the whoredom, the pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing required was a uniform.
Yep.
That's Esau.
That's right.
What was that? The Persian and the Medes?
Oh yeah.
Yep. And really, Esau, he's with this device, it's he's really seeking to further his control. Because these electronic devices have been around for quite some time. So you got to ask yourself, why hasn't Esau just rolled this thing out like this? Well, he's in the business of perfecting it to make it better. So when these things are, because we always bring out, like, once you take that device, you're not going to take it out, to the strength of you wanting to keep it. Where on one side you want to keep it, to be a participant of society, but on the other side, Esau's going to have it where that particular device is going to become one with your body.
Well,
It's gonna become,
if the new system is all enrolled in the MOTB, how like, for instance, who else came with another idea than money?
Yep.
What do you do? What's the secondary way of making money? That was the case. Jake would have had a black dollar.
Yeah.
You can't. So when this new system is rolled out, the MOTB system, if you take the chip out, you're still not going to be able to fucking function in society. So what you going to do?
Yeah. And see, Esau's making it where it seems pointless for him to implement something that you can just take out at will and set it down on your dining room table and go about your day.
Yeah.
Esau set it up where this thing is like nanotechnology is in this. There's all different types of technology that we don't even know too much about is involved in these things, that when you take them, it's actually going to become one with the cells of your body, one with your mind, to where Esau is going to be able to influence your actions. So, where a thought, where we would, we can think of something, because all types of information is coming out about that concerning the under the skin surveillance, concerning the body being a hackable thing now, that Esau can actually control your mind and influence your actions. So Esau is going to have it programmed to these people that receive these devices. They're not even going to be able to think in their mind to take it out, man. That's not even going to be a thought that they're going to be able to even process. Ultimately, all these people are going to become, ultimate mind controls under the control of Esau, because they're already under, Salaki, ultimate robots, because these people are already under a form of, mind control, but Esau's trying to further that to have that complete, like we were bringing out at camp, man. Esau seeks to, be like the Most High. So he wants to have complete control over the minds of the people, man. So he's trying to fashion himself, like the Most High Yahweh, like you brought out earlier, man. He sitteth himself in the seat of the Most High, proclaiming to be the Most High Yahweh.
Yep. If I could add, it's going to be the biggest ultimatum, okay, that the whole world is going to have to face. Either you want, free will and then chasing that bag and living that lifestyle that you always wanted, all right, and then ultimately receive destruction, or are you going to believe upon Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, not take that charagma, and partake in this salvation, being beamed up into that chariot, man.
Yeah, and majority of our people, they're gonna say, yes, I want it all. Just like King Leonidas, not King King Xerxes, Esau saying, look, man, you can be smarter, you can be faster, you can be stronger.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do all these. You're gonna be able to be a god when you receive this thing, man. When you take this Neuralink, look at all the abilities you're gonna be able to do. You're gonna be able to live forever. You will never die. So people are gonna be like, oh my goodness, never die. I always wanted that, So
it's just like remember, you go to certain, like, I remember in New York when I was on the train, you can take those scannable shit that's be on the wall. I was like, yo, goddamn, if I had a chip, I can just so-called, MOTB.
Yeah.
You can just hit up. I guess however they gonna have it, you can scan it on your hand, hit a button on your body. You can just download it in your mind, and that's part of you.
Yep.
I was like, I was like, they making this thing look good, because remember, everybody's is lazy and a degenerate.
Mm-hmm.
All they got to be like, yeah, you can download that into you, and now you got it.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Esau's technology is influenced by demonic energy, left hand magic.
And remember,
so it's more than just because it's more than just scientific. It's influenced with the demonic energy. It's influenced with witchcraft. So when you take this device, it's heavily influenced by his witchcraft.
That's right. But we can go ahead, wrap this thing up.
Come on.
So those will use edified with this lesson. We want to go ahead and get up out of here. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh.
Bashem, Yahweh Shai,
we want to give double honor to our apostle GMS as well. And a peace, blessing, and salutation to the whole free elect out there, which are Hebrew Israelites from the 12 tribes. And Lord's will, our King Yahweh Shah will deliver us very soon, which is the so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. With that, I want to say Shalom.
Shalom,
Shalom.
shalom.
I'm Yasharallah.
Kwam Yashua.
Yeah.